Alright, you guys, welcome to Cafe Rouge. I have had a very hard time to get to this part, so... Now this room here was the dining room of the family. Their butler used the pantry room, which is right in the next room. The tour guide led us through the rooms of the mansion. It was in the middle of the week, and the second of the junior field trip to Georgia. Yesterday we spent the day visiting old monuments of the Confederacy. Today we're visiting an old southern mansion in cotton plantation that got restored after the Civil War. I can't read. This is what I'm realizing every single time I record a video. Now this bedroom belonged to the young lady of the house. We headed upstairs now to the bedroom of the Blanche family. Oh, it sounds familiar. The intricate designs and expensive fabrics were beautiful, like something out of Wizard of Oz. But even with all the eye candy, I couldn't help to be distracted. Antoine's face haunted me, along with that conversation I heard in his office. Not bothering to pay attention, I looked out the window. Below a large shady tree, there was a cross and a small grave. It was quite blurry to see through the glass, but I could have sworn there was a familiar figure down there, standing in front of the grave. I am taking a screenshot because this is so pretty. Holy shit, the art in this fucking game is incredible. I leaned closer and squinted my eyes. Watch out! I heard a crack of the glass. Suddenly, I found myself falling out into the open, and I grabbed at the empty air. How hard was she pushing against that? Somebody get help! I can't watch. The lawn of green was coming up too fast. There was no way I could survive a 2-story fall this high. I mean, you survived the 6th one, so I think 2 will be fine. Closing my eyes, I waited for the impending force of gravity to take me. I swear to God, if it's fucking Antoine's face, I'm gonna have to change screenshots. Strange. The pain I was expecting didn't come. Was I dead? I opened my eyes to find a human cushion underneath. You. Antoine clenched his teeth before, probably hurt from taking my impact. Yeah, this is what happens. I swear this game has beautiful art. Did anyone tell you you're heavier than you look? I'm taking this one. What? I can't. I want to say stop, but I don't, because the art is literally gorgeous. What? I'm not fat. Why are you even here? I was about to ask the same thing. What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be away on the school field trip? Mr. Rouge. We both looked up the window with the shattered glass above. The tour guide was waving to Antoine. Thank goodness you saved one of our guests. Everyone, this is the owner of Blanche Mansion, Mr. Rouge. He donated and restored this estate to its former glory and made it a museum. The owner of Blanche Mansion? I turned to face him. His eyes refused to meet mine. You should get going now. Lifting me off, Antoine quickly got up and left through the mansion door, going inside. I laid there on the grass, not bothering to get up. Why the hell not follow him in? Antoine, the owner of Blanche Mansion. Something wasn't right here. You literally could go. The field trip flew by like a breeze. I was back at school before I knew it, and I had a lot of questions dying to be answered. But for now, I needed to head to work. Upon opening the scarlet door, I was surprised to find myself in an empty room. Where is everybody? Making my way to the dining hall, everybody was all over the place. What was going on? Oh, MeliZ, glad you're here. We're really super busy with the big catering tonight. Big what? Catering? Yes, tonight the whole cafe will be hosting a big dinner party. It's a very distinguished vampire coven family. Cadence walked up to us. Dear, why don't you head to the kitchen? Aldo needs a lot of help tonight for everything. She's so nice! I know you're nice. I know you're just... I know you're not a bitch, but God, you are kind of... I know, but you're not. Also, you should put on your uniform before you head inside next time. Oh, sure. We need the appetizer done later, otherwise you're not gonna have time for desserts or... Upon opening the kitchen door, Damien's attention abruptly turned to me. There was a short moment of silence, and then he laughed. Afternoon, Aldo. I can't pronounce that, too, Miss MeliZ. We are very busy tonight. There are ingredients on the table. He has a fake accent. I'm 100% convinced he does. That was hard. I could hear the guests arrive outside the kitchen door. Everything was so chaotic, but I had to take a peek. I sneaked outside the kitchen room door into the lobby. Some more wine, ma'am? Thank you, sir. I was crowded. I could barely see anybody. I made my way to the dining hall. Just as expected, it was crowded. I carried a tray holding glasses of champagne. Phew, nobody noticing that I'm human. Congratulations on 1,000 golden thousand. Your daughter must be so proud to be the only family with their grandfather left living. Oh, there's Suzanne now. And her son, the Michael's heir. The voices began to fade away, but I had to hear more. I could have sworn they said Michael's. A pleasure to finally meet you, Valentino. Did they just say? People continued to crowd over one particular table. Squeezing through the crowd, I saw the center of attention. A boy with pink hair and red-hued eyes, dressed in a calmly black suit, was greeting other vampires. That's adorable right here! Holy shit! I couldn't believe my eyes. Please, Valen's just fine. Only my mother insists on my full name. My mind blanked. It couldn't be true. But it was Valen in the flesh. My best friend this whole time. Valen is a vampire. A boy stood with pink hair and red-hued eyes. Dressed in a complete black tux, holding a glass of blood, he was shaking hands, greeting other vampires. I couldn't believe my eyes. Valen is a vampire. My mind blanked. A million thoughts passed through my head as I stood there like some frozen duck. At the same moment, I felt a tap on my shoulder. Miss, excuse me, can I get through? Sorry. At the sound of my voice, Valen turned his head. The glass of blood slipped from his fingers, shattering into a million pieces on the carpet floor. Our eyes locked into place. Oh, Mr. Michaels, your glass! Mr. Michaels? I retreated. Disappearing through the crowd of vampires, I covered my eyes, hiding my green pupils from the numerous red. To my dismay, Valen followed me. Sorry, excuse me. Pushing his way through the crowd, he didn't lose sight of me once. Wait, miss, excuse me. Why are these people so slow? The crowd of people was hard to push through. Which way should I go? Oh god, I don't like these choices! God, here. Oh god, where do I go? I don't... There, I'm going to the pastry room. Oi, watch where you're going. Sorry. Just when I was about to reach the kitchen door, a hand caught my shoulder. MeliZ, is that you? With a little force, I shook off his hand quickly. Darting the other direction, I had no other choice but to go out the door. With nowhere to run, I exited through the scarlet door. The street lights glowed daunting orange. I feel like I don't want it to follow me! This is why we save! This is why we save! Because I want to know what would happen if I had gone to the night bar. The bar was so full of middle-aged drunks and idiots trying to pick up women. Stumbling my way through, I scrambled through towards the bartender. MeliZ, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be in the kitchen? I know. This is so much more fun! No! F it! We're doing this! Do you mind if I stay here? Maybe I could hide? Excuse me, please, let me through. Too late, Valen was coming. Darting my eyes left and right, I saw a small opening between the crowd. Covering my face once more, I dove into the crowd of vampires. Where am I going? God damn it! Damn it, we still made it outside! With nowhere to run, I exited through the scarlet door. The streetlights glowed daunting orange. In no time, Valen followed me. God damn it, you! And he stepped out of the same scarlet door into the night. I turned my back to him. MeliZ, is that really you? There was a long silence and no one spoke. You should go back to the dinner party, Mr. Michaels. Come on, MeliZ, don't give me that. And why shouldn't I? Facing him now, I glared into those red-hued eyes. Those deceiving eyes I foolishly trusted for all my life. Why didn't you ever tell me? You never told me you worked at a vampire cafe. That's because I was trying to protect you. Protect you from these blood-sucking monsters. Valen winced, hurt stabbing his features. He looked down, face stricken with pain. Can you please hear me out? Please let me explain. Refusing to meet his eyes, I didn't know what to say. Silence only accompanied us as the night prolonged. I didn't want to stay 1 second longer with him. If you excuse me, Mr. Michaels, I must get back to work. Please, MeliZ, please hear me out. But before I could step back, yes! A tall figure emerged standing in the doorway, blocking the entrance. What are you doing out here? Nothing. I was just going back to work. Reaching out towards me, Antoine grabbed my arm. Gently, but with a harsh enough voice, he yanked me behind him. Concealed from Valen's view, I stared up in surprise. Antoine glared down at Valen with a foreboding expression. Boy, you have a lot to learn. Fortunate for you, I won't allow you to drag her down with you. Go and run back to Mama Wolf if you know what's good for you. Valen took a step back, wide-eyed and clearly intimidated. Without another word, Antoine dragged me back inside. Mr. Rouge, he's a friend from school. Be quiet. I didn't dare say more. Still holding onto my arm, he pulled me through the lobby crowd towards the kitchen door. Shutting the door behind us, Antoine led me through the kitchen, almost slamming down his arms. I'm reading something completely different. I wanted this to go a whole different way. He trapped me between himself and the kitchen counter. Why did you leave the kitchen? His red eyes pierced mine, and for a moment his intense stare paralyzed me. I left. I was finished with barrel boys and crowd was huge. I thought I could hide. Antoine continued to stare intensely, and I couldn't help but feel my face turning red. His face was inches away. I could almost feel his breath on my face. Did you forget what I told you? If anyone finds out you're human, you're dead. Right now, there's hundreds of vampires prowling our cafe. Do you know how dangerous it is right now for a human girl like you? My god, thank you, Antoine, because I was wondering the same fucking shit. Do you understand how serious the situation is? Also, what is your relationship with that Michaels boy? I suggest that while you continue to work at Rouge, you cut off all contact with him. I don't want to see you with that Michaels boy again. Sir, I'm sorry that I left the kitchen without your permission, but you're not jealous, are you? The red spread across his face, but very quickly that vanished as his face took on a more steely expression. His intense gaze paralyzed me as he continued to stare into my eyes, not saying a word. Antoine? His hand sucked down on my wrists, trapping my body as he towered over me, pinning me against the kitchen counter. I couldn't move. Is he your beau? I could feel my cheeks flush. What? I'm asking you if he's your boyfriend. What's going on? Why was Antoine asking these kind of questions? No, Valen's just my friend. Alright. His right hand then reached up to my forehead, parting a few strands of hair from my face as he looked at me. Because as long as you work here, I won't allow anyone else to touch you. You're my employee, and I suggest if you don't want the vampire authorities to find out our little secret, you do as I say. He then looked away, breaking his intense stare, and I saw a fleeting moment of uncertainty flash across his face. Antoine? Suddenly his arms surrounded my waist as he pulled me into a tight embrace. My face was buried into his chest, and he held me in his arms. Antoine? I want to keep you safe. It's dangerous out there. He loosened his arms around me and slowly he let me go. Then suddenly he chuckled, breaking from his intense demeanor like he was suddenly amused by something else. Stay here for the rest of tonight's shift. Trust me, you don't want to go out there. His eyes shone a gentle hue, but beneath there was a stern warning, like he meant all that he said earlier. Letting me go, he briskly left the kitchen door. My heart was still pounding with fear. At least I think it was. Let me save! Let me save! Ooh, that was a nice animation of her eyes opening. I like that. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining me in Cafe Rouge. Another part, another day. I hope to see you guys in my next video, my next live stream. Until next time, bye. Johnny.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
MeliZ. Hold up, Melly. You so fly and looking flawless.